Quality, innovation, respect, and integrity. Take steps to invest in your career. International Management Consultancy is the leading global marketplace for learning and instruction, helping professionals across the industry to develop skills and expertise to get recognition and growth in the corporate world. We are one of the leading training providers and gradually spreading our training facility amongst candidates based at different geographies, such as Canada, United States of America, United Arab Emirates, Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Lebanon, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Philippines, India, and many other countries across the globe. IMC is accredited by the highest industry standards. We put in the efforts and we work to prove our commitment to offering our clients only the best and of superior quality. With a uniquely immersive curriculum that combines live instruction from the leading experts, peer-to-peer collaboration, on-demand lessons, unlimited online trainings, and 24/7 learning support. IMC helps over thousands of professionals learn their skills needed to advance their careers and reach their full potential. In line with our commitment to excellence, IMC offers a number of training courses preparing professionals for certifications and exams given by the international associations in areas like management, finance and accounting, human resources, sales and marketing, quality administration, and as well as project management. By fully attending these courses and successfully completing the requirements of the certifying body, participants will receive a special certificate which recognizes their dedication and commitment and in many cases help them earn valuable continuing education credit. IMC Consultants has been working together with their clients from various industries in aligning their people and processes to compete through high speed, excellent quality, and low cost. We strongly believe that the key to our success is our total commitment in delivering value to our clients based on integrity, honesty, and openness. If you are uncertain about which roles or skills are best for you, hurry! Come visit our website or talk to our expert education consultants today. Take a step, invest in your future, empower your knowledge, and be one of our success stories. International Management Consultancy, excellence is what we deliver.
All right, thank you very much. So that was a short introduction of IMC. My name is Akhtar Jahan Khan, and I am your trainer for these 10 days for the masterclass. So here's a short introduction about me. I am based in Germany, and I'm a trainer and facilitator in quality project management, namely the Lean Six Sigma, Scrum, Prince2, and a lot of other soft skills as well. So I'm a master black belt trainer. I'm also a lean consultant where I am also a panelist for Six Sigma projects. I am also an auditor in Germany, and I've done a lot of projects. And if you see, I've done around more than 200 plus trainings for Lean Six Sigma and with IT companies, with customer service. So in different segments, basically. I've also trained the US Army, Navy, Air Force, and military for the Six Sigma concepts and taken their masterclass. I am also a translator of English to German language. And so that's about me. That's a short introduction about me. And we would get to know each other more in these 10 days. So I would like to know more details from you as to, you can either type it on chat or you can unmute and talk. Okay. So I would just want to know a quick introduction from all of you, just your industry, your name, and your if you are attending this training for the first time. So have you ever done your black belt or green belt trainings before? Or is it the first time that you've come for a Lean Six Sigma training? And what are your objectives out of this training? Because I need to know so that I can map it well when I am taking examples and training you. Okay. So anyone would like to go?
Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Abhijit Bode. I'm from India.
Good evening.
I'm in a pharmaceutical industry. I'm in a quality assurance department here.
Okay.
And this is my first time to attend a class of Six Sigma Black Belt.
All right. And what is your objective for attending this training?
Objective is to get a knowledge on, say, problem solving, root cause analysis, and the quality management.
All right,
perspective to implement it. Yeah.
All right, very well. Okay.
Hi,
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Mahendra.
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Mahendra, and I am also working in pharmaceutical industry as a documentation manager, and I am working with Abhijit Bode sir, I spoke earlier. And we are in pharmaceutical industry. I have done green belt project in my previous organization, Lupin Pharmaceutical, and now I am going for a black belt training here.
Okay, all right, that's great, Mahendra. Yeah, next.
Hi,
Hello,
this is Salman.
Yes, Salman.
From UAE.
Go ahead. Yeah, good.
Thanks. I'm into construction field. I'm a sales engineer. So I'm the first time here for Six Sigma trainings. So my objective is to learn about the Six Sigma and the practices about the quality and the customer satisfactions, like customer relationship, and to learn about the Six Sigma practices.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Salman.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, anyone. Myself, I'm from India, and I have 17 years of experience in industry and organization, basically in manufacturing. I'm a certified lead auditor in ISO 9001, and you can say completely IMS. And also recently, I have done my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. And the objective is to be participating in this training is to run the project to improve our quality, improve the quality of my plant, and to minimize the standard deviation of any process which I am looking that I can improve in this process.
All right, that's great.
Hello,
Right, thank you.
everyone. This is Prashant Goraksha from India.
Yes,
I have almost 12-year experience into the manufacturing sector. From last 10 years, I am working into the aerospace sectors. Out of that 10 years, I have worked as a quality manager and YMR. And from last 2 years, I'm working as a director in the same company as operation director. The objective of coming over here, this is the first time I'm attending this Six Sigma training, and the objective is to gain the complete knowledge of Six Sigma and implement the same knowledge in my day-to-day basis.
All right, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
That's nice. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
Mohammed
hi,
Ali.
good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prashant here.
Okay, Prashant.
So yes. So I am working with the IT sector as a PMO, and I have 16 years of experience. And my main goal is to learn the Six Sigma, and I need to implement in my projects and needs to reduce the defects of the things. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
And have you done a green belt or a black belt before?
No.
All right.
This is the first time.
Okay, no problem.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Muhammad Ali. I'm from UAE. Yes. I'm working here as clinical trial administrator. And for Lean Six Sigma, I haven't done it before, the green belt or a black belt, but I participated in a training earlier. And for the Lean Six Sigma, I will get like process improvement and betterment for the company.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Muhammad Ali. Yes, Bhumika.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Bhumika, this side from India, Mumbai. I have 3 years of banking experience, especially in trade department, and newly I have moved to the project management team. So I was looking for some courses wherein I could learn the Six Sigma certifications I could get and help in help in understanding the concepts and the quality management, which in return would improve the efficiency of working.
All right. Okay. Right. Thanks. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bhumika. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Myself, hello. Myself,
Yes,
Rajesh
good evening.
Balwant.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm working in textile industry, more than 9 years experience, and my main objective is to do a Six Sigma to increase my skill and process improvement and how to get root cause regarding quality.
Okay. Rajesh, I did not catch your industry. Can you just tell me
Textile
which
industry. Now I'm
Okay,
working
fashion,
in textile
yeah.
industry.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. Okay, thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Myself, Agnal from Manchester, South India, Coimbatore. Actually, I have experience in supply chain operations, almost 13 years of experience in chain operations. Currently working with Reliance Retail as a senior manager operations. And I have certified in both the yellow and green belt.
All right, that's nice.
My objective is just for an career of recruitment. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you very much. Is anyone else spending?
Good evening. I'm Ashish Jaiswal. I'm from India. I have a work experience of 24 years. I work for the government. Presently, I'm switching over to corporate jobs, and this is my first exposure to Lean Six Sigma. If I want to know what's current and in vogue, since I'm looking forward to a job in operations or administration or logistics handling. That's it.
All right, okay. Okay, thank you, Ashish. Yeah. Anyone else? Or you can also type it in chat. I think we have Soumya. Soumya, if you are comfortable, you can type it on chat or you can unmute and talk. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Miss Soumya is part of the service team. So she'll be there to assist and guide students if ever.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Michelle. All right. So, great. So I've got to know most of your industry, and since a few of you are already trained in green belt and black belt, but there are most of us who are introduced to this concept for the first time, I will take everyone as novice so that we can have a lot of exchange of information, and we can learn a lot in these 10 days. Okay, so I hope you are able to see my screen. In case, if you're not able to see my screen, please let me know either to chat or you can just unmute and let me know. Okay, so these are the pillars of Six Sigma. We have customer, quality, and defect. What do we understand by quality? Anyone? What is the definition of quality?
A state of matter which is free from defect or measure of excellence, that is quality.
Yes. What else?
Meet the expectation of the customer.
Exactly. Yeah. Free from defects. Meet customer expectation. What else?
It's predefined. The criteria are predefined.
Yes.
Functional standard that a customer expects at a given cost.
Yes. So that is your customer expectation, the standards. What about different customers? Do all customers have the same perception about the quality of your product? No, right?
No, perception will be different.
Yes, exactly. So let's say, since we all are, I hope we all are from the same zone, from either from UAE or India, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So before I start with my session, I would just like to know from you if you would like to have one break or two break, because we will only take a break of 20 minutes. So if you would like to have two breaks, then it would be 10 minutes, or if you want one break, so it will be one break of 20 minutes. So you all can decide based on your schedules, or maybe if you all want a dinner break or whatever. So you can decide, and based on that, we'll take the break.
I think one break, please.
One break? All right.
Yeah,
That's
one
great.
break will be sufficient.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah, so
go
we'll
ahead.
take one break, one long break of 20 minutes, so that
20 minutes.
yeah. All right, that's great then. Fine. Yeah, so let's get back to quality. So like we discussed, the quality is a very subjective topic. Six Sigma helps us to measure that. Okay, so basically Six Sigma will help you to measure this subjective standard. Like most of them said that it is free from defects, meeting customer expectation and standards. There is a predefined criteria. So who is it that who's going to decide that? It's your customer. Okay, but again, depends on what the customer, which customer you are providing the service to. So your customer is the one who will decide, let's say 1, 2, 3. So you have this customer specifications. You as a company, only when you meet these customer expectations, only when you meet all these 4 customer expectations, will your customer rate your quality as good. Correct? So you will get a good quality. You will provide a good quality to the customer only when the customer grades it as good. And that's why your customer is the one who decides the good or the bad quality. However, it also depends on the type of customer that you are targeting. For example, if you go to purchase, let's say a trouser or a t-shirt or a shirt or a sari, and you give it to 5 people, everyone would have a different perception of quality for that particular product. Correct? Someone might feel that is
Yes.
is a good quality product. Let's say for you, a material made of cotton is good. For someone, a material made of silk is of good quality. So again, it depends on the type of customer that we have. Okay, but the main focus is meeting the customer's expectation. That is the primary focus that we have. So we always have to keep the customer first, check our customer, and meet our customer's expectation. So quality is nothing but decided by your customer, and defect free. Any product that is defect free is graded as good quality. Yeah. So what is quality? Quality means different things to different people, right? So something, it is conformance to specifications, meeting or exceeding expectations, giving every customer complete satisfaction. And what is the definition of quality as per the ISO principle? It says how well the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill the requirements of your customer. Okay, now here comes a very important aspect to quality: product and process quality. Quality of end product depends on the quality of inputs and the quality of process, right? Being an industry, let's say being an owner, a company owner, you have no control over the end product, because it is decided by the customer. The customer says that I want an XYZ product or an ABC product. However, being a process owner or a company owner or a manager, the only 2 things you can control is the process, the quality of the process. So how well you make your product, the process that is followed, it should be defect free, right? That you can control. You can also control the inputs, the raw materials that you purchase. You need to purchase a good quality raw material so that the process is fine, and then you get your end result as expected by the customer. Okay, so being a manager, we can only control the process or the quality of the input. And why quality is very important? Obviously, you need to remain competitive. You also have to, especially in such a dynamic world where every second people want a change and they want something better, because there's so much competition. So quality is the only way where we can survive in the industries or in the market that we are. Hence, quality is very important. What is the process? We've already discussed. The process is basically the way how you transform the input into the output that you give to your customer. Now, let's discuss about a Deming cycle. Deming cycle, the name Deming is because of this person, Edward Deming. He was a scientist, and he introduced this cycle, which is known as a plan, do, check, act cycle. This you can implement. It's a continuous and a quality improvement tool. So basically, it consists, or it uses a logical sequence, okay, of 4 key stages. These are the 4 key stages of plan, do, check, and act. So be it any field, okay, be it manufacturing field or IT or pharma or clinical or construction or any XYZ field, you can follow this approach to process improvement or to quality improvement, and it's a continuous process. So I'll give a very simple and example so that we can understand this. In plan, what do we do in plan? We need to identify and analyze the problem or the opportunity that we need to change and develop an assumption here in plan. The next step is to do a hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? Again, hypothesis is an assumption. Let's say some solution. Then you check, you do a trial, and you check if it works well. So this is the place where you review and analyze your result. And based on the review and the analysis that you've got at the check stage, you will act. So here, finally, you need to act, and now you can implement the tried and tested plan. And the process goes on. Okay. So let me take a very simple example. Let's say if there's a restaurant, okay. So there's a restaurant, and the sales is declining of the restaurant. So they want to implement a PDA cycle, okay, a PDA cycle for the improvement of the menu. So what would they do in plan? In plan, what will they decide? The goal will be to find a new recipe. And how will they find that? They will find that by doing a market study. Okay, so there is an XYZ restaurant in the same locality that is doing very well. And maybe this restaurant was only a vegetarian or just a non-vegetarian, and the location had a lot of vegetarian people out there. Yeah, that could be a reason. So now the restaurant plans for a new successful recipe. So let's say they started offering 5 alternative recipes to the client. So that is my plan. What do I do in do? In the first week, they will prepare some 5 best recipes. They will list down the ingredients and the complete cooking process. That comes in do. Okay. And what do we do in check? At the end of every week, there will be someone who will be noting the feedback and taking down the details from the customer for modification. Okay. that comes in check. And then you move on to act, where you would decide what recipes you will use the next week. And then again, you follow the plan, do, check, act, cycle. So this is a very simple example of how you can improve the quality of your process by following a PDCA cycle. Okay. All right, so this is some of the definitions of quality assurance. You have a ISO 9001, and there are a lot of certifications which are there where you can do it for your organization for achieving a good quality. Okay, this 8 quality management principles, I will discuss this in detail in the later part of our session. Okay, now we come to our 6 Sigma. Okay, 6 Sigma. Since we have some green belts and yellow belts here, I would like to know from you the difference between Lean, 6 Sigma, and Lean Six Sigma. Okay. Yeah, anyone?
Lean is nothing but minimizing the wastages.
Okay.
Lean is minimize the wastages and speed up the processes, and Six Sigma is the statistical the statistical methodology, and Lean Six Sigma is a combination of both.
And Lean Six Sigma is a combination of both. That's right. So for Lean Six Sigma, I will write LSS. Okay. Any more examples? All right, so like everyone rightly said, so Lean and Six Sigma, a combination of Lean and Six Sigma is known as Lean Six Sigma. Now, what is Lean? Lean talks about reducing waste. Lean makes your process efficient. Lean also makes the process faster. Lean was adopted by the company Toyota. Lean is an approach. Okay, so this is my certain definition, or I'll say certain parameters of Lean. So if Lean is talks about reducing waste, Six Sigma talks about reducing variation. What is variation? Variation is what the customer wants and what you give. Okay, that's variation. If Lean makes your process efficient, Six Sigma makes the process effective. If Lean talks about speed, Six Sigma talks about quality. If Lean is an approach, but Six Sigma is a methodology. I'll let you know what is DMAIC later. Six Sigma, you know the company Motorola? Yeah. Six Sigma is from Motorola and Lean is from Toyota. Okay, so this is the basic difference. Now let us understand this difference by taking a very, very simple example. Let's assume that this is let's assume that this is a room. Okay, so this is a room and it is all clustered. Okay, it's all clustered with everything scattered here and there. Okay, everything is scattered here and there, and it's all clustered. Okay, and if you are let's say given a task to clean this room, okay, to clean this room and make everything very well and in a systematic manner. Okay, so what is the first thing that we would do? We would first get rid of all the unwanted items out here. So you will get rid of all these items here. Okay, all the unwanted items. And then we will clean the dust, etc., remove all the non-value added items. So what is it that I'm doing here by removing the stuff? Okay, all the non-valued items or waste or the broken furniture or whatever. I am applying lean. Okay, what next? If I leave the room as it is, what is going to happen? In due course or in time again, it will go back into its original state, all clustered and frenzy, right? Hence, it is very important or crucial for me to organize and install new items here, like new furniture, storage items in a proper manner, so that next time, and I would also put a checklist so that all items are put or kept at its place and it is not clustered. Yeah. So basically, just like in a simple task of cleaning a room, we had to apply both Lean and Six Sigma. We just can't leave a process by just applying Lean. It is very important that we have a combination of Lean and Six Sigma, and that's why a Lean Six Sigma was introduced. Okay, so Lean is makes it efficient. However, your Six Sigma talks about quality and speed. Now let me take another example of a fitness center. Let's say there's a fitness center. Okay. And there is Sam. Okay, I'm not biased towards any name. Just because it's a short name, I am taking this name Sam. Yeah, there's no other purpose for me to take this name. So there's Sam. He wants to visit your fitness center, and he wants to, let's say, he's come to become. He wants to become more fitter. Okay. So when I say more fitter, I would say basically he wants to reduce weight. Okay. Now I don't want to take any example of weight because you know, it's a perception. Everyone can have a perception of whatever weight they want to be. So I would not take an example of the actual number of pounds or whatever. So now when Sam visits this fitness center and he tells them that he wants to reduce waste. So what does the fitness expert advise him first? He would put him for a detox plan. Okay, let's say whatever, 1, 2, 3, there's a detox plan here. He would also try to, by putting Sam on a detox plan, he will be able to eliminate the waste from his body, or eliminate the fats or toxins, or let's say unwanted water retention, or some fluids or impurities. Yeah, these are the things that you would first do, because his body, let's say this is the body. Okay, the body already has a lot of stuff in the body here. Okay, so there's a lot of fats and there is toxins, impurities. Okay, there are a lot of stuff that is there here in the body. So these things he would try to remove by putting him on a detox plan. Okay, so once this is done, okay, once the person is put on a detox plan, what happens? All these things are eliminated, all non-value added items. Okay, when I say non-value added items, it is NVA. That is how we denote the non-value added items. Okay, NVA is my non-value added. Okay, so anything that is non-value added is removed from the body. After removing all these impurities and fluids and these toxins from the body, if he is left as it is, what will happen? What will happen to Sam? Maybe the quality of his nails or skin or hair will deteriorate. Yeah, because now he doesn't have anything in his body. So what is important for us being in a fitness center? After we put him on a detox plan, we should also provide a proper diet plan to him. We will also give him some multivitamins. We would also give him, let's say, some omega tablets, etc. So there will be a lot of good things that we want to provide Sam so that his body is able to balance the elimination as well as the good things. So once I remove this from the body, okay, once I remove this from the body, then I add these good things in the body. Yeah. But if these bad things are there, is it possible for me to put these good things in here? It's not possible, yeah? Hence, it is important for me to apply lean first, remove all the non-value added items from my process, and then add the good things inside the body. Okay, and this would give a proper balance. And that's why my Lean Six Sigma was introduced. Okay, now let's say, okay, everyone clear with Lean and Six Sigma concept? Okay, this is just a general definition for you to understand both the concepts. We will, as we proceed further, we will take a lot of industry examples, but this is just for everyone to be on the same page and try to understand what exactly is Lean and what is Six Sigma. Okay, so Lean talks about just removing the waste and removing all the unwanted items, and it speeds up or makes the process efficient. And your Six Sigma talks about the quality and being effective and reducing the variation. Okay, so this is my Lean and Six Sigma. Now, what do I understand by Dmacc? Okay, Dmacc is a methodology. It stands for D for define, M for measure, A for analyze, I is for improve, and C is for control. This is the abbreviation for Dmacc. Okay. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Now, what does define say? Define says, what is the problem? In define, you will understand what the problem is. So let's take an example of Sam. What was the problem that he came up with to us for?
Weight reduction.
Yes, the reduction of his weight. Okay, so in define, I will not just write reducing weight. Okay, reducing weight will become very vague. We have to make it measurable. So I will say Sam wants to reduce weight from X 2y. Yeah? This becomes a proper definition of my problem. Okay, my define should not be vague. My problem should be very clearly defined. So reducing weight from X to Y. This becomes my define. Now, what does measure do? In measure, we see how much is the problem. Okay, how much is the problem? Now, how will I know how much is the problem? Yeah, I will do a, let's say a BMI, yeah, body to mass index. I will measure the weight and eating habits, sleeping habits, yeah, complete schedule. So all these things will be measured. Okay. All these things will be measured to know how much the problem is, the current scenario, the current situation. Here in measure, I will not analyze anything. I will purely measure everything. Okay, only to understand how much the problem is. Now, what do I do in my analyze? In analyze, we try to understand the root cause of the problem. Root cause.
Analysis of measured things.
Yes, it is root cause. So now in my measure, let's say when I asked Sam about his eating habits, okay, or in general, when I asked him, okay, tell me what are your eating habits? He says that, well, I have very good eating habit. I avoid chips and biscuits or any fatty stuff. I eat only home cooked food, and my eating habits are very good. I don't eat sweets. Okay, so then you ask him for his sleeping habits. He says, oh wow, I also take around 8 hours sleep during the day. Okay, so that's what Sam has told us. So he says he doesn't eat sweets, no sweets, and no junk. Okay, and he says he also sleeps 8 hours a day, which is very good. Okay, 8 hours per day. And he also says that his, then you ask him about his water intake. So his water intake, he says that is also good. It is around 6 to 7 glasses a day, which is very good. So if you see superficially, okay, in your measure, if you see superficially, everything looks good, right? But being a Six Sigma manager, you are not going to look at it superficially. When the person says that there is no sweets and no junk, you will go deep into it to ask, what is the actual schedule? So what does he eat during the day? When you probe further to Sam, what he eats during the day, he says, oh, I love rice. So all the 2 times I eat rice. And I also eat a lot of carbohydrates. Okay, so he takes a lot of carbs, and the oil that is used is all the polysaturated oils. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. Then you ask him about his sleeping pattern. He says, well, I do a night shift. So because I do a night shift, I come home at 6 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I come in the morning, I have my breakfast and I go to sleep for, let's say, around 2 hours. Then I get up and again I have something and I watch TV. After watching TV, I take a noon nap for again 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. Then again, I get up, I take my dog for a walk, or I just go for jogging or exercising or whatever. Then I come back and then I sleep again for like, let's say 2 hours. And then in between, let's say 15-20 minutes, I get some sleep. So that makes up to like 2 more hours. So in total, I sleep 8 hours a day. All right, so then you ask about the water intake. What about your water intake? What is the pattern of your water intake? So he says that, yeah, before I have my meals, I have before and after, I have 1 glass of water each. Okay, before my meals. So it's total 6 glasses because he has 3 meals a day. So that is what you've identified. Okay, now when I analyze, as a Six Sigma manager, I have analyzed that he has a very wrong notion about weight. A weight, he thinks only by avoiding sweet and junk, he will be able to control his weight. But that's not the case. Your body needs a proper balance of all carbs, vitamins, proteins, etc. Okay, so that is one of my root cause that I identified. Now, there could be many root causes. Okay, as a Six Sigma manager, when you come up with a process, there could be many root causes, but you will only work on few root causes that are causing most of your problem. As we proceed with our Six Sigma training, I will teach you how you need to prioritize and how you will identify the top root causes. Okay, but as of now, I will just take it as an assumption. Okay, so we'll just say that, let's say we've identified first root cause is his diet. He doesn't know what exactly is he should include in his diet. Okay, so the oil is a problem and the carbs is a problem. That is my first root cause. My second root cause is his sleep pattern. Because he is not sleeping at a stretch. And if you see, your body needs at least at a stretch, your body needs a 4-hour sleep at a stretch, because after 3.5 or 4 hours, your body goes into an auto repair mode. And that auto repair mode is very important for your body to get back to its original state. But he is not allowing his body to go in an auto repair mode. His sleeping pattern is very abrupt. So it is 2 hours, then break, then 3 hours, then 2 hours and 2 hours, so, which is not good. Okay, so my second root cause is the sleeping pattern. My third root cause is the water intake. If he takes or if he drinks water immediately after his food or before the food, what happens? The water gets diluted, mixed with the digestive juices, because of which it hinders the digestion process. Okay, so it is very important for you to give some time to your body after eating food for it to digest it, and then you should have drink your water. Otherwise, the digestive juices will also be diluted and the digestion will not happen properly. So that becomes my third root cause. Now, there could be many other root causes as well, where he is taking in, let's say the exercise which he's doing is wrong. He's just going for exercise after eating food or before eating food, etc. But we will ignore that for the moment, because that is not much of a concern. So these are the 3 root causes that I have identified for salmon. So that comes in my analyze. Then I move to my improve stage. Now, in my improve stage, I will identify or improve each of these root causes. So I will implement the improvement that he needs to do. So I will give him a proper diet plan that will mention that he should avoid carbs or take carbs only once a day. His sleeping pattern, I will tell him to sleep for 5 hours at a stretch. and then get up and have his breakfast. And water intake also, whatever, XYZ, etc. Let's not get deep into it. Otherwise, we all will become dietitians rather than black belt specialists. Okay. So so that's what we implement. Now, once we have improved, okay, what will happen if I just leave him at this stage? If I do not control it, he will get back to his original diet. Hence, it is important for me to put some control plans. Now, how will I do that? How will I make those control plans? Weekly schedule. Weekly schedule to monitor. Okay, to monitor his weight, etc. I would also give a diet plan that will keep changing, that I would change every week. So this is my control measure. I would also want him to have some, regular exercises and yoga or meditation or whatever. Okay. So these are the things I will ask Sam to implement in order to keep a control over this process that is there. Okay. So this is my DMAIC. Okay. So define what is the problem, measure how much is the problem, analyze the root cause, improve it, and then control it. This is my DMAIC. Any questions up till now? Yeah, anyone? All right, great. Okay, great. That's nice. So that's about my Six Sigma. So what is Six Sigma? Here is your definition of Six Sigma. It is a customer-focused attitude. All decisions are data-driven, not on gut feel. Okay, so everything is related to data. The method to achieve defect level of 3.4 per million opportunity. I'll explain this to you. As of now, you can just ignore. I will explain this. What do we mean by 3.4 per million opportunity? So basically, Six Sigma is a continuous improvement cycle. It is systematic and measurable. Six Sigma includes a lot of statistics, and it tries to make your process measurable. Okay, based on those different techniques and tools that we will learn, we will be able to measure the accuracy of your process and make improvement purely based on statistics. Okay, so my Six Sigma focuses only on statistics. So what are the benefits of a Six Sigma? It improves the customer satisfaction, reduces the cycle time, the turnaround time, the cost of poor quality. What is cost of poor quality? The cost that we pay for making a bad product. Okay, that is my cost of poor quality. To do a project, the immediate solution of the problem is not known. Very important for you to take up a Six Sigma project. You do not, if you already have a solution, why will you go for a project? We don't have to go for a project if we have a solution. We go for the project only if we do not have a solution to the problem. Okay, if you have a solution, you will not go for the project. Now let's understand different types of bells in your Six Sigma. Would you like me to make the notes of these and share with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll just keep adding this in a Word document, and I'll share it with you in the shared drive so you all can have access to it.
So in this case, I have a question regarding this particular screen.
Yes, Mahendra.
So in this case, the define will be goal also for the same.
Yes. Define
His
is
goal is to reduce the weight.
Yes. We'll go into details. Each each stage of Six Sigma, the DMAIC, we will spend a lot of time in understanding it. okay, with the different statistical tools. Like I told you, we need to make it measurable, and how you will make it measurable, all that we will spend a lot of time on it. So you don't worry, everything will be very clear. As of now, I just wanted the concept to be clear. Okay, now we'll try to understand the different belts. Okay, your different belts in Six Sigma. Can anybody tell me what are the different belts?
White, yellow, green, black.
Yes.
And master.
White, yellow,
And
green,
the
black,
master
and
belt.
masters.
Master black belt.
Yes, you have white, you have yellow, you have green belt, you have black belt,
and master black belt.
and master. Apart from this, there are also there is also something as champions and your sponsors. Okay, we'll try to understand all these people. Okay, so what are white belts? Now white belts is a term that is just given like that. Okay, the white belts do not really where is this white belt and black belt? Okay, white belts do not exist in the Six Sigma family. However, this is a name given to all those who participate in a project. So if you have your subject matter experts, or let's say a team where you've got someone to help you with your project, okay, so you name them as white belts. Who have basic knowledge about Six Sigma, we name them as black belts. Okay, now let's understand what each of these belts are. What are yellow belts? Yellow belts are basically your subject matter experts. Okay, and they do not lead any projects. Okay. So your yellow belts are subject matter experts. They do not lead any projects. Who are your green belts? My green belts are part-time practitioners. Okay, these are part-time practitioners, and they lead small projects. Now, when I say small projects, these are the projects that have intangible benefits. Okay, intangible benefits. Or let's say, I will call it a soft cost. What is intangible benefits and soft costs? What do you mean by that? Yes, anyone? Something that is not displayed in your balance sheet. So it does cause a difference in your process. Yes, Agnel.
Goodwill, right?
Yeah. So it's something that is not there in your balance sheet. So it is a non-financial benefit. You are definitely causing a difference in your process by making it more effective. Okay, by making it more efficient or effective, but there's no such tangible benefit which you can show to your company. Okay, so it doesn't have any financial benefits. That doesn't make it a rule. Okay, maybe sometimes it will have some benefits, but very little or very negligible, which is not much included in your in your tangible costs. Okay, and it is within the team. Okay, so you would not do it in the process. Also, your green belts are mentored. These are mentored by BBs. Who are BBs? Black belts. Okay.
Black belts.
Yeah. So from your black belts or the project members of the black belt projects. Okay. So this is your green belts. Okay. Then comes our black belt. Black belts are full-time practitioners. Full-time practitioners. So they lead major projects, or let's say tangible projects. Okay, projects that give tangible benefits. Black belt projects or black belts could be within or outside the team. They mentor the the GBs. When I say GB, it is green belt, and the YB, who are your yellow belts. The black belts also can run or manage multiple projects. Okay, they don't have to take one project at a time. Multiple projects handling at the same time. Okay. And black belts have, of course, they have a good pay scale as well. Okay, so they have a good pay scale. So being a black belt, as per your the Six Sigma Academy, black belt, for doing a black belt project, you need to show a saving of, let's say, around per project, it should be around $230,000. Okay, so per project, a black belt will save around $230,000. Okay, that becomes this much, yeah. So, and if you just imagine when a company, okay, usually companies used to hire black belts from outside, and whenever they used to hire black belts from outside, the pay scale or the payment that they used to give was around $90,000. Okay, $90,000, and they would do a lot of projects for them. Okay, now just imagine if one project, a black belt is saving $230,000, and they're just paying $90,000. It is such a good return on investment, right, for the companies. This is as per United States, yeah, as per US. This is the pay scale of a black belt. But now organizations have become very smart. What are they doing? They are getting managers like you to be trained for black belt so that they can save this also. Yeah, so they don't have to hire a black belt from outside. They will train their own managers to do black belt projects, so that, so it's a win-win situation. This is just a general knowledge for you. Yeah, please don't go to your managers and tell them to pay you $90,000. But this is the actual pay scales. Okay. Then comes your master black belts. Master black belts are high tenured black belts. Okay, high tenured black belts like me. So basically, we are consultants as well as master black belts. Black belts, they are also consultants. Okay. And what do master black belts do? They mentor and work on BB projects. Also work with closely with the upper management, or you can say the strategic team. Master black belts are always a part of the strategic team. These master black belts can also be your champions or the sponsors of your process. Okay, so basically master black belts are the ones who have done a lot of black belt projects or a lot of research in Six Sigma, and that's when you become a master black belt. So there are companies who call them to evaluate the black belt projects that are there, or sometimes you are also a part of the panelist interview. Okay, so if somebody is trying to hire a black belt, so you are called as a panelist to interview that particular individual. So those are your master black belts. Now, apart from these, we also have someone known as champions or are sponsors. The champions and sponsors are the ones who help to remove any roadblocks that are there in your any roadblocks in the project. They give you resources. They also evaluate, or they give you a go ahead for the project. So if you have a project, when you present a business case as a black belt, when you present a business case to your CEO or the process owner, okay, they are known as champions. So your champions or sponsors are the ones who will give you a go ahead. Only when they approve, then you can proceed with the project. Okay, so they give you a go ahead for the project. They also help you or give you the resources that you need, because as a master black belt, definitely you would need some people to help you, right? You just cannot do the project on your own. It's a team effort. So you would need right from the SME or the subject matter expert level to the top process owners to help you achieve the project successfully, to complete the project successfully. Okay, so your sponsors, and your sponsor is the CEO, the CFO, the COO. So all those executives at the executive levels are your sponsors, who are going to provide you the time, money, and budget. Okay, so this is my Six Sigma different belts and the different terms and terminologies. Okay, I'll just quickly copy and paste it in your Word document. Any questions up till now?
So champions and sponsors are doing the same kind of work?
Yes, in some company you have champions, in some companies you have sponsors. So
Okay.
champions are the one who will also do the review at every stage. Okay, so when we take up a project, okay, of a Dmacc project, so after every stage you will have a champion and a sponsor. And if you don't have a master black belt, so your champion and sponsor will sit with you to review the progress of
So why two different terminology here, champion and sponsor? It will be a single
because,
terminology for them,
yes,
because they are doing same task.
it depends. They are not doing the same task. Some company has champions, some has sponsors,
Okay,
some have
fine.
master black belt. Okay, they are all three are different.
Okay.
Not necessarily your champions and sponsors are master black belts. Okay, but they look at the company's vision, mission, and goals. You know, your champion can be your the person who's put the money. Yeah, and your sponsors is your CEO, CFO, or COO. He's not necessarily the one who has actually opened the company. Okay, like you have your directors, and then you have your CEOs, etc. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so this is your different belts. Now let us understand as per an organization. Okay, let's say this is an organization. Yeah, I'll explain that champion and sponsor to you in detail so that
Okay.
you have clarity. Okay, let's say we have Abhijit. Okay, so Abhijit is a green belt, it's a black belt. Let's take a black belt. Okay, so we have Abhijit here, who is a black belt. Is a black belt. He's done his black belt, and he wants to approach a organization. Okay, and he wants to implement some projects so that there is some improvement. So he goes to these process owners. So we have these different departments. Okay, there's a sales department, then I have HR, quality, finance. Okay, so this is my sales, HR, then I have quality department, and I have finance. These are the 4 departments. Now, Abhijit, and these are the process owners. Okay, let's say these are the process owners of the different departments. Now, if Abhijit directly goes to this process owner and tells him that, look, you are in sales, I have identified a few projects where you can increase your sales by 20%. Okay, I have some techniques where you can increase your process by 20%, or you can let's say, what else could be a parameter of sales? Your average handling time. Okay, I can reduce the AHT by 35% by following some best practices. If Abhijit directly goes to this process owner, what will this process owner say? Will he entertain Abhijit?
No, he will not.
Exactly. He'll say, excuse me, you are teaching me how to do it. That's what he will say. So what is Abhijit supposed to do? He will go to the champion of this process. So he is the owner or the champion. This person is the owner under whom these people are working. Now, if Abhijit approaches this process owner and tells him that, look, I have identified a few improvement areas in your sales, your HR, your quality and finance, and I would like to take up a black belt project to work on it. So what will the owner do? Now, when the owner calls this process owner, will he be able to say no to Abhijit? He won't be able to say no, right?
No.
Yeah. Why? For 2 reasons. One, that he is the champion, is the owner, so he cannot say no to the boss. And second, he is getting an extra resource. He is getting an extra resource for his process to help him do better. Yeah. So he will be very happy to take Abhijit. Now let's say in sales there are many products. Okay. And there are different teams or different team leaders, okay, handling this product, these different products. So there are 4 different products. Okay, these are the different products. So each department is different in this. Okay. Under this, there are some team leaders handling these products. Yeah. So there are some team leaders here. You have team leaders. Then you have below the team leaders, you have your SMEs or the RAT team. Who are the RAT team? The Rapid Action Team. Okay, who are SMEs? Subject matter experts are known as SMEs. Okay, we will use these terms very often. Okay, so since that's why I want everyone to be acquainted with these abbreviations. Okay, subject matter experts. You also have your RAT team, which is the Rapid Action Team. This is the team who is directly in touch with your customer, and they are the ones who know the process more than the process owner. Agreed? Because they are the ones who are directly performing the process and are in touch with your with the customer. So this is the team that has all the details about the process and how it functions, the flaws of the process, the good things about the process, everything. All that information you will get from them. So you're now Abhijit, in the team of Abhijit, okay, in the black belt project, he will have all these team members, all of them. Okay. And who will help them select? Who will help him select this? The process owner. The process owner will give Abhijit all these people. So who are your SMEs and the rapid action team? They could be your white belts or
Yellow belt.
black belt, yellow belts.
Yellow belt.
Okay, these are your white belts or your yellow belts. Okay, and then you have your team leaders. Now your team leaders or the process leaders could be your GBs or BBs. Okay, they could be your green belts. These people could be your green belts, not necessarily, or maybe they are not. It could be your green belts or it could be your black belts. But this is the team. And whenever Abhijit has done any improvement, he will have a, let's say after the defined phase, he will have a meeting with the process owner and the champion for the go ahead. Okay. And when he presents the business case, it has to be approved by both the champion and the process owner. Okay. Is that clear?
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense now, Mahendra?
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from this, you have those sponsors. Your sponsor will become the one who's put the money in this business. Okay. But your champion is the one who's actually owns everything. So he will remove your roadblocks and give you resources and help Abhijit in achieving what he wants. All right, so now we've understood the different belts. So these are your different belts. What detailed Six Sigma green belt training includes: a predefined problem opportunity as a green belt project. We have a detailed training on all the phases of Six Sigma project. Then you have the usage and application of different tools. Then there are some exercises, some written tests, and the green belt certification after completion of green belt project. Now, this is not there. All of you are very lucky. The time when we did, like around 9 years ago, when I did my black belt or green belt, at that time we had to complete a project. Unless and until you wouldn't complete a project, you wouldn't get your certification. But now things are very easier. You just have to give an exam and you get the certification. Okay, so these are some details about the trainings. The type of training. So you also have a black belt training. Now this training that we are doing is a masterclass training that includes both green belt as well as black belt. Basically, there's not much difference between green belt and black belt. The only difference is in the tools. Okay, so like I told you, that black belt will mentor the green belt. So being a black belt, you learn a lot of tools, statistical tools, and you also learn a lot of hypothesis and assumption tools and significant tools. In green belt, there are a few tools which you are not taught. So that's the only difference. Okay. But once you are a black belt, you don't need to go for a green belt training because that includes both. Okay, so this is your Six Sigma evolutionary timeline. So these are your different scientists, Japanese and Americans, who have actually contributed a lot to these statistical tools that we use. Okay, there's Mr. Gauss. So there's a Gaussian distribution that is there. Then we have a Walter Schuett, who has also introduced the variances, which is special cause and common cause of variance that we will learn later. Then there was a French mathematician who introduced the normal curve. Then Pareto, Mr. Wilfredo Pareto, he introduced Pareto analysis. So then there's a Kano, Mr. Kano, who introduced the Kano model. Okay. So these are, and then Motorola. Okay, Bill Smith was the one who actually is the torchbearer of Six Sigma now. And then GE also follows Six Sigma. So this is just a evolutionary timeline which you can go through. Okay, identifying the root cause. Again, this I will do it in the analyze phase, but since it is here, I'll just explain to you. This is the formula that we use for our identification process. Your Y is the problem. The X's are the independent variables. That is the causes, okay? The effects. So if I say that the quality is bad, okay, that is my Y. Quality is bad. So what is it that is making the quality bad becomes your X. So your Y is dependent on X, but these X's are independent. Okay. Your Y is the output and your X's are the input or the process. Your Y is the symptom, so your X's are the causes. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll quickly go for a break, because once I start with these topics, I do not want to take a break. That would disrupt the flow. So once we start with the customers and the voice of customer, I just want to continue with it. So is that okay with everyone? Is it fine if we go for a break now for, let's say, 15 or 20 minutes?
Yes. Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, that should be okay.
Okay, great. So I'll just put a timer here so that we all can be back on time. And once you are back, you can either type B or you can just type back, so that I know that you all are here and we can start. Okay.
Okay.
All right, great. Then see you after the break.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, great. Since most of you are back and it's time up, I shall proceed. Okay, so the first step of my define phase in the Six Sigma is your VOC, which is voice of customer. In every organization, there are three categories of our customer: the primary customer, the internal customer, and the external customers. Your external customers are the ones who are the clients. Okay, so now when we talk about VOC, it could be any one of these depending on the project that you are taking. Okay, so let us understand what is voice of customer and how do we gather this VOC. Okay, throughout the training, whenever we talk about VOC, it will be the voice of customer. Okay, VOC, that's the abbreviation. So now when I talk about voice of customer, be it any process or any product or any industry that you are in, how do we gather that? Anyone? How do we gather the voice of customers?
By market research.
Okay, market research.
Surveys.
Yes, surveys. Feedback.
Feedback from customers.
Yes.
Customer satisfaction survey.
Yes, CSAT. Customer satisfaction is CSAT. Okay.
Interviews.
Yes, interviews.
Opinion polls.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Opinion polls.
Yes, opinion polls, correct.
On-time delivery.
Okay, what else?
On-time delivery.
On-time delivery. Is that a voice of customer?
No, actually it is not.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm only talking about gathering the voice of customer. Your ratings, the ratings the customer gives through your portals. What else?
Customer satisfaction surveys.
Yes, that's your customer satisfaction.
Referrals by satisfied customers.
Yes, referrals. We have referrals. What else? What about the team that is there in your organization? Who are in touch with your customers?
Quality.
Salesman. Marketing team.
Doesn't your sales and marketing team, don't you think they will be able to give you a better picture than these market surveys and feedbacks and customer satisfaction survey? Although they would definitely. However, they are the ones who can give you more insights on how your product is performing in the market. They can also give you the competitor analysis. Yeah, your sales and marketing team can tell you how difficult it is to sell, for them to sell the product. Yeah, for the sale of the product, how difficult it is for them to sell the product. Yeah, your marketing and sales team can give you. Which other team can give you the information? Yeah, customer service team.
Yes.
Don't you think they can give you the voice of customer better? Because they are the first point of contact with your customer. With the customer, the first point of contact is my customer service team. What calls, why the repeat calls? Okay, what is the reason we are getting the repeat calls for? Or other customers complaining about the price of our product or the quality of our product or whatever. The customer service team will also give you a very good insight on the voice of customer. What else? in some companies, you have the billing team that are in touch with the customer, where they call and ask them for the renewal of the, let's say, renewal of your product. Okay, so if people are asking for more discounts, okay, and people are saying that, you know, your product, or not taking the product, or not renewing, yeah, not renewing your policy, or whatever your product is that you are offering, they are not renewing. What if they are asking for a free product, or whatever, XYZ reason? Your billing team can also give you the information. You also, sometimes we have issue log. I think every company has this issue log, right? That will tell you what the problem is.
Yeah, actually, market complaint team is also there in few
Yes.
companies.
That's right. What about claims? Warranty? Yeah.
Customer complaint
Return,
registered.
replacements, refunds. If the customer is asking you for this also gives us a picture of what is of our voice of the customer, what the customer wants, and why they are refunding, or why they are asking for a replacement, or the complaints that we get. Apart from this, we also have some industry experts. There are some industry experts. For example, what everybody knows what is Kodak. Yeah, Kodak. What happened to Kodak? Remember in our I don't know how many of us remember, but in our school and in our schooling, or even before that, in our school times, everybody used to use these Kodak reels. Yeah.
Kodak reels, yeah.
Yeah, we used to use this Kodak reels, and without this, it was like, you know, the lights were so not complete. You know, you had these reels where
Kodak
you
reel.
put it in a, yeah, you can see my screen, yeah. So you could put in there's this man. Anyway, so there's this Kodak reel which we used to use, and then what happened? Suddenly Kodak vanished. Anybody would talk about excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. So anyone would if they would talk about camera, they would always say Kodak. Then what happened? Overnight they disappeared. Why? Because
Not upgraded timely.
exactly, there were digital cameras came in, yeah, where people
Yes,
could
yes.
actually see what they are capturing. So why would I go for a Kodak? So what happened? If Kodak would have hired an industry expert, okay, his customers were decreasing, but he did not realize the reason for the decreasing of his customer. He was not up to date with the market. If there was an industry, if you would have hired an industry expert, or did more and more research on the voice of customer, maybe he would have come up with some digital camera as well.
Digital cameras.
Okay, and they would have been able to survive in the industry, but that didn't happen. So hence, getting in touch with your industry expert, it is very important. The same thing happened to Nokia, right? Nokia, BlackBerry. I remember just recently, like 10, 12 years ago, we had these fancy BlackBerry phones where we used to say, I will BB you, if you remember.
Yes.
We used to say, we will BB you. And then what happened? WhatsApp came and all BlackBerries went off. So, you know, it is very important for us to remain updated. And it's the voice of customer is very important. And you should not rely only on one aspect when you are collecting your voice of customer. You need to make sure that you get the voice of customer through all these, so that you get a 360-degree view of the voice of customer. Okay, so you have your industry experts. You also have something known as crawler. How many of you know about the crawler or bots? You can search it online also. This is a licensed software, or it's also known as a spider or a search engine tool. So when you download it, it basically goes to your competitor's website and gives you the feedback of the competitor. Okay, so let's say if I want to know if a brand, let's say H&M or Zara or any other brand, what kind of competition they are running, etc. So it just gives me those details, and it is a licensed one. Yeah, so you can also have these
Crawlers and
bot,
bots.
yeah, the bots which gives you information on your competitors, okay, competitors website. However, if you see industry experts, crawlers, and market research, all these are very expensive. Yeah, it will always cause you some amount of money. So it's better that you always get more and more information from these teams that are directly in touch with your customer. Just think from the customer's perspective. You know, today if you're using some product, okay, and you're not happy with the product, when the customer service team calls you, or if the sales team comes to you, you will obviously tell him that, look, I am getting this this same product from an XYZ company at a better rate and more features. Yeah, so that is how the sales team and the customer service team will get the information about the competitor. So they are the ones who are in touch. So it is very important for you whenever you take up a Six Sigma project, the method of gathering your voice of customer is very important. So how are you gathering the information? It has to be from all aspects, so that you do not take your symptom as a problem. Okay, so there's something known as symptom, and there is also something known as problem. Okay, and problem. Let's say if your symptom is sales going down, okay, sales going down. If you take this as a problem, you will not be able to solve your issue. For example, or let me take a very simple example. If you have a headache, okay, you have a headache and you go to the doctor, that is a symptom that you have a headache. Then the doctor just gives you a paracetamol or an aspirin and tells you, okay, take this for like 5 days and you'll be fine. You took it for 5 days and you were fine. So what did the doctor do? He just treated your symptoms. The doctor did not try to identify the problem. If the doctor were to identify the problem, he would have checked if the headache is because of your vision problem, or is it because you had a tiring day? Let's say last week you had some deadlines to complete and you were awake whole night and you did not sleep for 2-3 days. You did not get a proper sleep, and that is the reason. Or is it because you were fasting? Okay, since Ramadan was going on and you were fasting, because of which you had a headache. The doctor did not identify that. Okay, so if you take your symptom as a problem and you treat it, then you will never get the proper result. So as a Six Sigma expert, you would never take a symptom as a problem, but you will actually identify what the problem is in your defined stage. Okay, so this is your voice of customer. Okay, I'm simultaneously making your notes. I'm just copy pasting it. So I'll quickly delete this from here. Now, once I get the voice of customer, now this voice of customer, is it measurable? It's not, right? Can I measure, I don't like your product? Can I measure that? It's not possible for me to measure, right? So the voice of customer, once we get this VOC, we need to convert it into a KPOV. What is a KPOV? A KPOV is key process output variable. Key process output variable. And this is basically your opposite of VOC. So when I say opposite of VOC, if I say, let's say, if my customer says, okay, I did not like the car. I did not like the car. So what will be my KPOV. As a Six Sigma specialist, you will tell your team, your SMEs or the rapid action team to get more information so that you can work and you can talk with the customer to identify what he did not like in the car. Okay, so when they collect the VOC, they collected the VOC, the customer says it is high maintenance. The customer also says that your car gives a low mileage, is, let's say, unsmooth gear shifting, or whatever, X, Y, Z reason. Okay, these are the things which your customer did not like. So when I collect the VOC, I convert it into a KPOV. How do I convert it into a KPOV? High maintenance means what is missing? If I say high maintenance, what is it that is missing? Yeah, low maintenance. If I say low mileage, what is missing?
High mileage.
High mileage. If I say unsmooth gear shifting, what is missing? Smooth gear shifting. So this is how I convert my VOC into KPOV. Okay, this I'm showing you how we make it measurable. Now I identified what is it that is missing. Then I go for a KPIV. What is KPIV? Key process input variable, or my CTQs. Okay, so key process, CTQ is critical to quality. Critical to quality. So my VOC, my basic purpose in my defined stage is to convert my VOC to critical to quality parameter. So when I say critical to quality parameter, that means I need to make it measurable. Okay, I have to make it measurable as to how I will measure this. Okay, so when I say low maintenance, so I need to get the information from the customer. When the customer says low maintenance, how much is that? Okay, so the customer will give, let's say, an X amount. Okay, this much maintenance is good for me. Okay, when the customer says, when you say high mileage, so what is the mileage that the customer is expecting? Low mileage, what is the customer expecting? Kilometers per hour. Okay, this is the mileage. When I say smooth gear shifting, how should it be? So it will be, let's say, whatever, 1 second, 2 seconds, etc. Whatever is the measurement. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So this is how you convert your VOC to KPOV and then to a KPIV and a critical to quality parameter. Okay, now let's take an example of, let's say you go to a restaurant and you do not like the cake. Okay, you do not like the cake. You say, I did not like the cake. Okay, it was bad taste. Bad taste. What will be your KPOV? What is missing?
Good taste.
Good taste.
Good taste. Now, how do I make it to a KPIV? I go back to the customer and I ask the customer, what does he mean by bad taste? Okay. What does he mean by bad taste? Is it that it was too sweet? Is it that he expected, let's say,
taste you prefer?
Yeah, a different taste. Let's say he preferred chocolate cake, but we gave him some other cake, whatever. So it could be XYZ parameters. Okay, so X, it could be whatever. Then I convert it into a KPOV. After I convert it into a KPOV, then I make it measurable. So when the customer says he did not like the cake was not soft, so then I will see what is the reason. It could be that I did not put the baking powder correctly. Yeah. So for it to be soft, how much amount of baking powder should be there? Let's say it's 2 teaspoons or 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder for it to be soft. So that is how you will drill down and get to your CTQ and make it measurable. Okay. So let's say if you say that, okay, today's training. Okay, you say, okay, we did not like the trainer. Why? Because it was bad communication skills. So I will say, what is missing?
Good communication
skills. Now, when I say good communication skills, there could be a lot of factors in that. It could be that the language was a problem. It could be that the trainer was using a lot of jargon or whatever. So based on that, I make my KPOV. So we try to make simple language. Okay. We try to explain each jargon so that, you know, everybody's on the same page. So that is how you identify your KPIVs. Okay. So let's get back to our presentation. So yeah, common tools for gathering the VOC or the voice of customer. We understood the different type of customers. So you have your interviews, the surveys, you also have your focus groups, observing the customer, you have your complaints. There are some advantages and disadvantages of them. And there are many other factors to this, which I have already discussed. Okay, so you can get the voice of customer through those areas as well. Now we come to critical to quality characteristics. So here it is. So you have your customer needs. The customer wants the product to come on time. Okay, so this is how you make your detailed specification. Please ignore this. I will discuss this later. Defects per million opportunities when I discuss about Six Sigma. Okay, so you make your CTQ measurable. You give a target as to how much it is supposed to be. Okay, you have your upper specification limit and lower specification limit. This also I will discuss in detail, so please ignore as of now. Just remember that your critical to quality is making the voice of customer measurable. Okay, by breaking them down to different levels. Okay, so you have your quality initiatives. You have an ISO 9001. You also have a CMMI. You also have Six Sigma, but here we are learning about Six Sigma. Now, what is an outside-in approach? Like I told you, we start with the customer. We work on the process. Okay, we start with the customer. We check the customer, what is the customer's expectation, and then map our process to see if we can make some improvement here, and then we provide the output to the customer. So that is known as an outside-in approach, which starts from the improvement, always starts from your voice of customer. And see here you have your sponsors, black belts, green belts, yellow belts, team members. So we discuss your sponsor can also be a champion. A champion can also be a sponsor. Your master black belt can also be a sponsor and a champion. Okay, so these are the definitions of different belts, which we've already discussed. Here the team members are also called as the white belts. Okay. Now let's understand a Six Sigma opportunity. Okay. First, we'll understand the Six Sigma opportunity. Okay. Now, what is Six Sigma? So I have Six Sigma, which is also denoted as this. Okay. Just make it a little darker. Okay. Six Sigma. This is the sign for Sigma. And what is this? This is the 18th Greek letter. 18th Greek letter. Okay, small letter, rather. 18th Greek small letter. Okay. The capital of it is this. Okay. This is how the capital is, but this is just for your knowledge. Okay, so you have 6 sigma, which is the 18th Greek small letter. Now, what do we understand by 6 sigma? When we say that our process is working at 6 sigma, that means my product or my process is making only 3.4 defects per million opportunity. Per million opportunity. That means 3.4 DPMO. This is how it is denoted. Okay. Now, what do you understand by opportunity? Anyone?
Product.
Okay. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know your understanding, the ones who've already been through the yellow belts and green belts, because I don't expect the others to know this. Just in general, opportunity.
Opportunity
Numbers.
means million defects can be generated, but in 6 sigma it will be 3.4 defects.
Okay.
May I say? Hello.
Yes.
Opportunity means the parameter, the testing parameter.
You're not quite audible. The voice is too low. Is it only for me or for everyone?
Opportunity means the parameter what we are analyzing.
That's right. Okay, so opportunities mean is nothing but chances that you get to make error in a product. Opportunities are nothing but chances that you get to make an error in the product. So this is not the product. Okay, so this doesn't mean that if you produce 1 million t-shirts, if you make 3.4 defects, you are working at 6 sigma. No, that's not the case. It is defects, not defectives. I will explain to you the difference between the two, the defects and defectives. But as of now, understand that opportunities are the chances to make error in a product. So now what do I mean by chances? Let's say we are manufacturing t-shirts or shirts. Okay. Your company, let's say Mahendra has a company and he manufactures shirts. Okay. So in his complete process, he manufactures 1,000 shirts. Okay. I'm trying to keep the math very easy, and that's why I've taken 1,000. Okay. What are the different parameters when you manufacture a shirt? What will be the different parameters, the quality parameters? The cloth,
material used.
Yes, the material, the cloth or the material. What else?
Printing.
Yes.
Stitching quality.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Length of the t-shirt.
Yes, the length, the stitching quality. The sleeves, whether short or long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeves short or long.
Various designs.
Yes, designs.
Size, label, packaging.
Size, etc. So there could be like n number of parameters. So let's say as of now, we just take 7. Okay. So each shirt has 7 parameters. Okay. Each shirt has 7 parameters. So the number of opportunities for Mahendra's process to make errors is the number of shirts times the parameters. So how much would that be?
7,000.
7,000.
7, which is equal to
7,000.
Yes. Okay. So this is my opportunity, but not this 1,000 shirts. Okay. My 1,000 shirt is not my opportunity. This becomes my opportunity. So he gets these many chances to make an error in his process. Clear about the defects per million opportunity? Yeah. DPMO.
Yeah, clear.
This is my DPMO. So what do you think? Do we have other sigmas as well? Or we just stop at Six Sigma?
We have some more sigmas, like
Yes.
the pharmaceutical industry. There are around 10 to 11 sigma, and aviation industry around 12 sigma. And in my consideration, that some NASA and NASA and ISRO having around 25 to 28 sigma.
True, absolutely true. So there is a lot of other sigma levels as well. Okay, there are a lot of other sigma levels. But as a standard, we go for Six Sigma based on the industry. Okay, so this is my sigma level. My sigma level changes based on the number of defects that is made by your process. If your process is making 3.4 defects in per million opportunity, then you are working at Six Sigma. If the process is making 230 defects, they have rounded this, okay? It is, the numbers are more. Or if it is making 6,210, or if it is making 66,000, if 308,000, then your sigma level decreases. As your defects increase, the sigma level decreases. Okay, and same goes to your yield. Your yield is nothing but the number of good, the number of good units times the percentage of good units. Okay, so in the total, the number of good units, that's the percentage, your yield. Yield is the percentage of good units that you produce. So if you produce 99.99966% of good products, you are working at Six Sigma, which is 3.4. Okay. However, if you are, as this decreases, your sigma level also decreases. Okay.
There are any other levels above 6?
I'm sorry. Yes, there is above 6, Mahendra, based on the industry in which you are working for. Let's say that I'll discuss a little later. First, I just want this concept to be clear. Okay, I will give you examples of the industries that are working at a greater than Six Sigma level, and based on what factors you need to decide that. Okay.
Ma'am, may I have a question here?
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I want to know what is the factor which decide the defect per million, like 3.4 defect per million indicates the Six Sigma. Okay, yeah. Then why not 2.4 defect per million indicates the Six Sigma? What is the actual factor which decide the 3.4, the 230, the 6210? Please.
Can you please repeat? You're asking me that why do we say that 3.4 is Six Sigma? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So his question was like, why this 3.4 factor was defined for Six Sigma, and why this 3.0 is defined for 5 Sigma? How this was defined?
This is a statistical standard. Okay, and there is a formula. Okay, based on the formula, it is decided. This is not. This is a standard which is there, followed across the globe. Okay, like how pi. Why is pi 3.14? You know, you have pi in math. We used to learn pi. This is a statistical formula which you will learn later. You know, how do you derive at Six Sigma based on 3.4 defects per million opportunity? So there's a formula which you will put, and based on that you get it. It's not something, you know, which is decided by IMC or some XYZ organization. This is a statistical formula through which this was identified. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I hope I answered your question, Hanif.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes, it is a statistical formula through which you will get this sigma level. Okay, and that we will learn.
Yes, yes.
As in when we proceed, we will learn how we need to find the sigma level in the measure phase.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Because in the measure phase, the only you have to state the current sigma level of your process, and based on that, only your you will show them and you will tell them that, okay, my process is currently at 2 sigma and I'm planning to make my process at 3 sigma. So you will, when you define your problem statement, okay, when you define your problem and when you make your business case to discuss with your champion or your sponsor, you have to state the current sigma level of your process. Okay, so that's when we will learn how to calculate it. Okay, but this, as of now, just remember that this is an industry standard, like how you have pi is for 3.14, although there is a statistical formula to arrive at pi, but that we will learn later. Okay, but 3.4 is 6 sigma. That we need to understand. Now, let's say if, there is a organization that is running at 2 sigma. Okay, so your organization is running at, not organization, a process in the organization. No organizations can run on sigma levels, but the process in the organization is at 2 sigma. Let's say it is Agnel's process. Okay, so that means his process is making 308,000 defects per million opportunities. Okay, this is the defect rate, and the yield is only 70%. Only 70%. So now Agnel's sponsor calls him and says that, look, in your process, I see that they are running at 2 sigma level, and we want some improvement so that we can achieve a better level. So Agnel is very happy, and since he's just trained for black belt and he's getting an opportunity to go for a project, so he very happily takes up the project and reduces his defects to 66,800. So when he was there, now he is, okay, he was here. Now he is here at 3. Okay, and he does that improvement, and the yield is 93.3%. Okay, which is very good, which is a very good leap, right? From 70% to 93%. Now they are still not satisfied and they want to achieve a higher sigma level. Okay, so he runs some more improvement processes and improvement projects, and now he is at, let's say, 4 sigma. Now the yield is 99.38. He's still not happy, and they still continue. And let's say they are continuing, and the process is now running at 5 sigma. But they've spent a lot of time, budget, and resource in achieving a 6 sigma level. Okay, a lot of time, budget, and resource. And by the time they reached to this level, to this 6 sigma level, their competitor already came up with a new product in the market, and this process or this product became redundant. So what happened in Agnel's process? They spent a lot of time, money, and energy and achieved nothing. Okay, so depending on the criticality of your business or your organization, even if you achieve a yield of 99%, okay, if there is a yield of 99%, I would say it is good. So 99% yield will be somewhere around, let's say, around 3.8 sigma. Yeah, somewhere 3.8 sigma, because 4 sigma is 99.38. Could be, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere around 3.8 sigma, if Agnel would have stopped, because 99% is my yield, which is very good. That means I'm producing 99% of good units, okay, which is still good. He would be able to maybe survive in the market and give the customer a better product early. And they could have used the same time, budget, and resource which they spent in achieving 6 sigma to give it to, let's say, a marketing research team, your marketing team, or your sales team, or let's say any other team, an industry expert, okay, to understand the market trends, they would be able to survive in the market, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what we need to understand as a Six Sigma specialist, whether you need to stop at 3.8 or will you take your process to Six Sigma. Now, having said that, okay, you need to know that what is the difference between a 99% yield and a 99.99% yield. Okay, I'll just share a table with you. Just one moment, I'll just copy paste this in your Word document, which I will be sharing with you after I am done with with 2 classes at least. Okay, I'll share with you this.
So in any organization, there will be no any organization will be on Six Sigma level. It will be the process will be on Six Sigma level.
Yeah, there will be. I'll just come to that. Okay, one moment. I'll just come to that. I'm just sharing that table with you that will answer your questions. Just one moment. Okay, so here is your table. So like you asked the question, okay, correctly, that Akhtar, you just told us we are learning Six Sigma and now you're talking about 3.8 Sigma. What is it all about? This is the difference between a Six Sigma and a 3.8 Sigma. Okay, this is the difference between your 99% yield and a 99.99% yield. Depending, like I told you, depending on the process or the industry that you are in, you need to decide which Sigma level is good for you. Like we had someone in the pharma industry, it was Abhijit, yeah? You were in the pharma industry, yeah? And we also had someone working for the government, Ashish. So these industries have very critical aspects, or if there is someone working in a banking industry, do you think it is okay for them to work at Six Sigma? 3.4 defects in, let's say, when you are typing, you're punching in your ATM pin a million times. 3.4 times, if you type in the wrong thing and it lets you in, would that be okay?
No, it is not okay, because in the pharmaceutical industry, we are dealing with the patients.
Yes.
So
it is
it
not
will be
okay.
Six Sigma at least.
Exactly. So they can't work on Six Sigma. They have to work on beyond Six Sigma.
Beyond,
Okay?
yeah, definitely.
Yes. Same goes with your banking sectors. Can they give 3.4 times more cash or less cash? Or let's say your ATM card, can they give more cash or less cash? They cannot.
We can't.
Flights, even aviation industry. Now, aviation industry, there are 2 things. One is the flight and one is the baggage. Baggage can still work at Six Sigma or less than Six Sigma. But have you ever heard that 100 passengers boarded and only 99 passengers arrived at the location? Is it possible?
No, it is not.
Or in 1 million flights, 3.4 can crash. It's okay. It's not, right? Because wherever life is involved, it is very risky, and hence they cannot work on Six Sigma. So you need to identify the criticality of your process, and based on that, you need to take a call whether you will stop at 3.8 or you will go at Six Sigma. Now, look over here. You have your email clients, yeah? Your Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Rediff or Hotmail, whatever. Is it okay if you do not receive 20,000 articles per hour? If your email client is working at 3.8 Sigma and giving you 99% yield, 99%, which is good enough, yeah? Is it okay? No, it is not. And see the difference? But if the email client is working at Six Sigma there are only 7 articles lost per hour. Even this is not good enough. I would not want even 7 articles to be lost. So I'm sure they are working beyond this. Okay. Now, who is your water provider? There could be any water provider. If they are working at 3.8 sigma or 99% yield, you will have unsafe drinking water for 15 minutes each day. Would that be okay? 15 minutes each day. But if the same company is working on 6 sigma, there'll be just 1 unsafe minute every 7 months. Okay, you see the difference between 99% yield and 99.99% yield. 5,000 incorrect surgical operations per week. And here, if you're working at 6 sigma, 1.7 incorrect operations per week. Even this is not allowed. Your operations or the surgical team or the operation department always works beyond 6 sigma. It cannot work less than that, yeah. 2 short or long landings daily at airport with 200 flights, and here 1 short or long every 5 years. And here there's an example of pharmaceutical company also. These many wrong drug prescriptions, and here there is so less. You see this? So this is a comparison of 3.8 sigma and 6 sigma. So how different it is, although your yield doesn't give you the correct picture. This is the purpose of discussing this particular table. Your yield will not give you the correct picture, and that's why we go to calculate the 6 sigma. Although your yield, if you check the yield, it is the difference between the two is just 0.99, which is too less. But when we check it, defects per million opportunity, see the difference? It's too much. Okay, so that's why we look at the sigma level and not as per the yield. However, depending on your process, if 3.8 is good enough, you will stop there. Okay, does that make sense now? Any questions, any queries? Yeah, you can type it on chat in case if you are facing some issues with your mic. Yeah, clear about this? Because we are going to refer to these things, the 6 sigma, defects per million opportunities throughout DPMO, throughout the 6 sigma approach, the Dmacc approach. Okay, and I will also, as we proceed, we will take a lot of examples and we will calculate the sigma level, the defects per million opportunity, the defects per units. All these jargons will be explained to you, and we will see how we can calculate these. Okay, so this is my 6 sigma opportunity. Okay, a 6 sigma process is a methodological approach which follows statistically and qualitatively driven way to achieve definite improvement in a process or even introduce a new process. It leads to definite savings to the organization. It may be in days or in financial values. It has to be constantly reviewed and retuned to sustain the improvement. Obviously, if you do not review it, you do not sustain it, then nothing will happen. Yeah, you always have to. You need to keep checking and reviewing your process. If you don't do that, it will go haywire. Now we understood the Dmacc approach. Now, what is a DMADV? DMADVE, DMADV. If this is an improvement process, the DMADV creation process.
New product.
Yeah. It could be a new product, or it could be in your analyzing stage. You identify that, you know, this current thing is not working, and that's why you cannot improve it. You cannot improve the process, so you go in redesigning. Okay, so this DMADV talks about redesigning. Apart from DMADV, you also have IDOV. Okay, you have something known as IDOV. I'll just paste it in your notes. So you have your Dmacc. Then I have my DMAD V. Then I also have IDOV. This we will learn in our analyze phase. Okay, I don't want to confuse you by introducing this right away, because then you'll get super confused. Okay, so let's not talk about this here, but you need to know that there is something known as IDOV also. The abbreviation and everything I will explain when we before starting our improve stage. Okay, so now let's understand the difference between the Dmacc and the DMAD-V. Dmacc is improving the current process. And DMAD-V talks about redesigning the process. What is the abbreviation? D is for
define.
Yes. M for
Measure.
Measure.
Analyze.
Improve. Control.
And what is DMAD-V?
Define, measure, analyze, design, and validate. And validate.
Analyze.
Validate.
Okay, so this is the abbreviations. Okay, now let's understand both. Let's say we have Bhumika, and she has called us all at for a tea party at her place. Okay, she completed a black belt project and she's very, very happy about it. And she's called us all for a tea party at her place. Okay, so she knows she's very good at making tea. Okay, so she made the tea. However, the taste was not good. When she tasted, the taste was not good. So what she does, she calls her mom, or let's say her sister, or whoever is very good at making tea, and she asks them to check what exactly is the problem, because she was not able to identify. Okay, so what was the problem? Her problem was her mother comes and defines that the tea taste, okay, the taste is not good. And then she measures the current state. So she asks Bhumika, okay, tell me how many spoons of milk or how many cups of milk you put. So she said, I put 1 cup milk, 1 cup water, and 2 spoons of tea powder or tea leaves. Okay, and 1 spoon sugar. Okay, so this is what her mother measures. And then she analyzes that, the color is not good. The color of the tea, the aroma is not good. Okay, so she analyzes a lot of things. So the color, aroma, and it's not sweet either. And taste. All this is the problem. So what her mother does is she improves it by adding 1 more cup of milk. Okay. She also adds some sugar and some cloves or cardamom. Okay, for the aroma. Please ignore my spellings. This grammar checking has made my spellings very bad. So ignore my spellings. Yeah, and then she tastes it, and it tastes wonderful. So Bhumika is very happy about it, that she's got her the tea which she had promised, because she makes very good tea and she's got the same taste. So in order to control, her mother will make a checklist so that next time she doesn't falter. Okay, so this is my Dmacc approach. Now, what happens is in Dmacc, let's say the mother measures, okay, and she when she analyzes, Bhumika had put salt instead of sugar, because of which the milk has curdled. No matter how much improvement the mother does, will she be able to achieve the tea?
No, she will not.
No.
Whatever she does. So in analyze, we check for the gap. If the gap is more, she cannot, your improvement she could have done. She has done, in fact. She has done and she achieved what she wanted. But here, no matter how much ever milk, how much ever sugar, tea leaves, cardamom, cloves, or whatever she puts, she will never be able to achieve. So at this stage, her mother decides to redesign. So she will throw the tea and redesign it again. Okay, so that is my Dmacc. So in analyze, we check if the gap is more. If the gap is too much and we cannot do it, then we will directly go in redesigning and we redesign it. Okay, we'll go into details of Dmacc also in our different levels when we proceed. So that will be my day 7. In day 7 or 8, I will discuss Dmacc in details. But you need to understand the difference between the two. I hope it is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes.
Oh, great. Then you have IDOV. That also I will discuss later. This is an innovative way of introducing a product. Okay, something which is very new. That becomes your IDOV. Just understand that. We will discuss that in detail later. Okay. So here we've understood our Dmacc and Dmacc. So it is define, measure, analyze, redesign, and validate. So we create a new process, and it is also called a DFSS. What is DFFS? It is design for Six Sigma. Okay. Under design for Six Sigma, we have Dmacc and IDOV. Okay, where you are designing the process, the complete process. What is the problem? How much is the problem? Why is the problem? How to improve the problem? How to control the problem? Okay, these are the questions for your Dmacc. And for your Dmacc, it is for a new process. What is the problem? No data since process is not in place. How to introduce the new process? What would be the new process? Design, check, completed design, and transition to customer. Okay, we also have IDOV. This I will explain in detail later. Now, Six Sigma, what is the motive in implementing the Six Sigma? It is a continuous improvement. It is also becomes a strategy. And if we follow, it also becomes a philosophy where you completely change your organization's thinking and achieve that particular level by implementing the Six Sigma philosophy. Deming's approach. Deming's approach is, what is Deming's approach? We just learned, right? What is it?
Dmacc.
Yeah, no, Deming's approach. The PDCA, yeah. Plan, do, check, act in the start of the session.
Yeah.
Deming, yeah, that is Deming's approach. So plan, do, check, act. So everything revolves around the plan, do, check, act. Even your Dmacc, like you rightly said, Dmacc is also plan, do, check, act in a way. Okay, so you plan, you do, you check, and then you act. So Deming's approach is used in every aspect of, you can use it in every aspects of your business or your process. And it is said that 85% of the reasons of failure to meet customer expectations are related to deficiency in system and process rather than the employees. Okay, so as a Six Sigma manager, the manager will not focus on fault finding techniques, but fact finding. Okay, you need to identify the facts that are causing issues rather than blaming it on someone. Okay, like this employee, okay, since the new managers come, everything is gone haywire. No, you need to identify the facts. We have to, we have to assess the different facts. And how do we get the facts? We get the facts from the data. And how do we get the data? We get the data from our processes. Okay, so a role of a management is to change the process rather than pushing individuals to do better. So if sales, let's say if I am a manager who is focusing on just the symptoms of sales going down, okay, I just focus on sales as a symptom. What will I do? I will just push my employees by giving them incentives, or let's say I will give them training on how to do the sales. I will give them incentives. I will train them. I will hire some very good sales experience, like 20, 30 years of sales experience people, or I might just fire the ones who are not performing well. But I am failing to understand why the sales is down. Maybe that my product has become redundant, or it could be that my product is having a fault. Yeah, so, or maybe the process which is involved in making the product is wrong. So that there could be multiple reasons and multiple factors for my sales going down, but I'm ignoring that. I'm not taking the problem, I'm only taking the symptom. So that is something which, which is the difference between the Six Sigma manager and a normal manager. A normal manager will just take a problem, the symptom as a problem, and work on it. But as a Six Sigma manager, you will work on the process, you will work on fact finding techniques, and you will work on facts and figures rather than your employees, or pushing them, or finding the fault in employees. Okay, once we've done that, okay, this is your just general approach. Now we spoke about the voice of customer. Okay, once we get the voice of customer, we have to identify which or what aspect of the data that we've collected we need to prioritize it. Okay, we have to prioritize it. We cannot go as per everything what the customer is asking for. Yeah, some customer might say that, I want let's say if it's a mobile, okay, they want everything in the mobile, all the features, including the stylus. They also want a projector in the mobile. Okay, or they want some other feature where they can download remotely, or they can have some remote login, etc. So there could be a lot of features which the customer is asking for. Can we give all the features to our customer? Is it possible for you to do it? No, right?
No.
How do we understand that what is important and what is expected, or what is the basic or the exciting feature for a customer? That helps us to include in our product or in our process and give the customer based on those guidelines. So Kano model helps us to bifurcate, or helps us to identify the different kind of features that our customer has. Okay, now here if you see, it is showing dissatisfaction, satisfaction, non-functional, and functional. Okay, this looks very complex. However, it is very easy. Just ignore these words. This line, okay, this line is your satisfaction level. Okay, so this line is going from dissatisfaction to satisfaction. That means this is your basic features of the product or the process that you have to provide to your customer so that your customer is happy. Okay, so this becomes your basic. Then there's a line which is known as expected. Expected is the feature which the customer definitely wants, and if you don't provide this, the customer will definitely be dissatisfied. Then you have another feature which is exciting. Okay, exciting is the feature, if you provide, the customer will be very highly satisfied. Okay, but not necessarily dissatisfied. So you need to make sure that you make a table in a Kano model. Your Kano model helps you to make a table with the features of basic, expected, and exciting. And this could be different names. Okay, here sometimes they name it as must be, excited, and delighters. See, delighters or innovative ideas. So there could be different names for it, but the basic remains the same, that there are 3 factors in Kano model. One is your basic, where you have to fulfill that. If you don't fulfill that, your customer will be dissatisfied. Then you have your expected, your customer, you need to provide this, otherwise your customer will be dissatisfied. Then you have delighters. If you provide, the customer will be highly satisfied, but if you don't provide this, your customer is still satisfied. It's not necessary that the customer really wants delighters. Okay, so we'll take a quick example of this before we end the day. So let's understand Kano model. Okay, so if I have my basic, expected, and exciting. Okay, now how many of us have visited a restaurant? All of us, right? All of us go to a restaurant one day or the other, or any days, yeah? So let's say, what would be your basic features that you're looking at when you're visiting a restaurant?
Quality food.
Seating arrangement?
Yeah.
Sitting arrangement,
Good environment.
ambience,
Cleanliness?
Hygiene.
Yes. Which talks about cleanliness, yeah? Cleanliness or hygiene.
Parking.
Okay. Is your parking basic?
Expected.
Yes, it will be your expected. I will expect a parking. What is my basic?
Quality of food.
Yes, of course. The food is my basic.
Variety of menu.
Not good. Yeah, the staff also should be friendly. So this is my basic. Okay, there could be a lot
Cost
of basic.
efficient.
Yes, price will be my expected. I would expect, but that's not my basic. The food is my basic. Okay, so these become my basic if they are met. And not met. Okay, if they are met, will you be satisfied? Not necessarily, right? If the basics are met, not necessary, I will be satisfied. That is something which every restaurant gives, yeah? Seating arrangement, they cannot expect you to stand and eat. And the staff has to be there to help you and the food. But if this basic is not given, you will guaranteed be dissatisfied, yeah? Definitely dissatisfied, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Definitely be dissatisfied if any restaurant fails to provide you this. Now, expected could be my parking, could be the quantity of food that they give. It could be my price, it could be time, it could be whatever, plates, cutleries, whatever, okay, etc. Expected is something which needs to be met for my customer to be satisfied. And if this is not provided, definitely, again, the customer will be dissatisfied. Yeah. Then I have exciting. What would be an exciting feature for
Ambience?
Complimentary drinks,
Yes, the ambience. What else?
live music,
Offers.
Complimentary stuff, live music. Live
Buy
music.
one, get one.
Yes, yes, offers. offers pleasant staff,
Discount on weekends.
yeah, all that comes in offers, discounts. So all these are exciting features. Now, when my restaurant provides these features to me, I will be highly satisfied. But if they don't give this, will I be dissatisfied? Not necessarily, right?
Not.
Yeah, not necessarily dissatisfied. The Kano model helps us to bifurcate your voice of customers into these three features. So based on your process or based on competitor analysis, you can grade your the product or the service that you're providing as basic and expected. So you cannot compromise on these two. These two you can never compromise. So you have to, whenever you list down your voice of customers as basic and expected, you have to provide these two things to the customer. You can never compromise on these two. Although you can compromise on exciting, however, if all the restaurants start giving exciting, then it becomes, what will it become?
Expected.
Expected. Yeah, then the customer wants more. So you need to decide where you need to stop when you are providing the features to your customer. Okay, but here your Kano model helps you to identify or describe your voice of customers or to rate them as basic, expected, or as exciting. And based on that, you need to make improvement in your processes. You cannot compromise on basic and expected. Apart from this, there is something known as a dissuader. Okay. Now, what is a dissuader? Is something that you have to take care of. If you don't take care of dissuaders, irrespective of whether you're giving exciting or it's a double S, dissuader, yeah. So in spite of providing the customer with exciting feature, the customer will not come to you. Can you give me an example of dissuader for a
service?
Restaurant near a public toilet? Will you go? Will you go to a restaurant which is near a public toilet? No, right?
No.
Yes. Or if you get to know that they are using, let's say, artificial flavors, we will not go. So these are certain dissuaders which we have to take care of when we are providing our customers with the service, okay, or the product. Now let's, for example, how many of us have toddlers at home, small children? I'm sure at one point of time we would have had toddlers, yeah? Maybe our children have grown up or are school going now, in college going, but we have toddlers at home. Will a mother of a toddler go to purchase a mobile that has very fancy features, but the screen is fragile?
No.
No.
Right? Because for her, the basic or the expected is that the mobile should not have a fragile screen. The mobile should be durable. It should not break easily.
Tough screen.
Yes. So that is what she will look at. So we have to understand our customer, and based on that, we need to rate it basic, expected, and exciting, and dissuaders. So this becomes a dissuader. If my mobile screen is fragile, it becomes a dissuader. No matter how much ever exciting feature I'll give, she will not purchase it because it is a dissuader for her. Based on our customer, we will decide what kind of requirements we need to meet. Okay, and our prime focus is to keep our customer satisfied. Once the customer is satisfied, you can always focus on your exciting features to make them highly satisfied. But keep in mind the dissuaders. The dissuaders are something that will always make your product redundant, or the customer will just not go for it, irrespective of whatever exciting features you give. Okay. Any questions till now? Yeah, Kano model is clear. Any questions in Kano model? Yeah?
No.
No.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
So I assume that you all are understanding everything up till now, whatever was taught. Yeah, Six Sigma and the levels, and depending on the criticality of your business, you will go for a higher level. Otherwise, you will stop at 3.8 Sigma. Yeah, I'll just do a quick. See, this is the document that I have with all the notes. So we spoke about, we started with Lean Six Sigma. We spoke about the Dmacc approach, then the different kind of belts that we have. We also spoke about the organization chart, how you will approach and who are your GBs and BBs. Not necessarily they need to know the Six Sigma approach. Okay, you are there to help them. So even if the process owners do not know it, that's okay. They can just provide you with the data and the information that you need. Then we collect the voice of customer. We convert the voice of customers into KPOV and critical to quality, where we make it measurable. Then we also spoke about the different Six Sigma levels and how it is important. We also spoke about opportunities. Your opportunities is the chances of making an error. So the number of parameters into the number of production that you are making. Yeah, that becomes your opportunity. Then we have a Dmacc and a DMAD-V, an IDOV, and then the Kano model. Okay, any questions? Yeah, okay. I think all of us are sleepy or what?
No.
Yeah?
No, actually it's clear now.
No, it's very clear. No
Okay,
questions.
great.
It's very clear.
I'm happy.
So
I'm
there
glad.
is no any kind of question right now.
Okay, all right, great. So it was nice teaching you guys. So we will meet on Monday, and since it's a weekday batch, so it will be good. We won't have much breaks, so I can just continue daily with whatever is taught. All right, I'll share this with you, and tomorrow when we start with the session, you all can just go through. I hope you have this PPT with you, yeah? This PDF file?
No.
No.
We don't have.
No.
Okay, all right. So I will just update this PPT, this PDF file in the drive, the shared drive in which you have access to, so y'all can go through it. However, there are a couple of things which are redundant in this. So this is an old PPT, and we are working on it to come up with a new PDF. So until then, whatever I have taught or whatever slides I have skipped, that I have skipped only because the information is redundant, okay, and obsolete. So you only go through the ones that I have discussed in the session.
Make note on the slide that it is redundant.
Yes, I will let you know. Okay, I'll just share this with you. All right, so you have a nice weekend and have a good sleep. Take care. Remember to sleep at least for 4 hours so that you have your body goes in auto repair mode. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Stay healthy and take care, everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a nice
Thank you.
weekend.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy.